Hi, I just wanted to take a few moments to explain the difference between the body sculpting that we do here at Rodriguez Rejuvenation and regular old liposuction. The most common questions I get asked is, Dr. Rodriguez, why is it that your patients can go back to work the next day after liposuction surgery? Why is it that your patients don't need narcotic pain medicine and just control the discomfort that they have with over-the-counter medicines? Why is it that the downtime is so shortened compared with regular lipo? And why is it that your results are better than regular lipo? Well, I'm going to take a few minutes to explain what we do. It's a little bit different because most patients out there looking for body sculpting don't realize there's different options, and even though liposuction has been around for decades, technology evolves. And so we've gotten to a point now where we can do your procedure with no risk of general anesthesia. You're awake, you're talking to us, you're very mellow from the happy pills that we give you. There's minimal downtime. Most patients go back to work in 3 or 4 days. Some people go back to work the very next day, and the recovery time is markedly reduced. And those are things that people are looking for, and there's less pain. Come on, let's be honest. Everybody's afraid of pain. If I can remove the fat from the places you don't want it without causing so much pain, hey, that's a plus. And that's one of the benefits that our patients get from the special VASER lipo laser liposuction that I do. Well, let me explain to you why that occurs. With regular lipo, it's often referred to as tumescent lipo. It involves putting anesthetic fluid, let's say, under the skin where the surgery is going to be done. If you see this diagram here, we take the fat and we put anesthetic fluid underneath, and that's called the tumescent step. Tumescence just simply means putting fluid underneath the skin. That fluid has a little bit of epinephrine that helps the little blood vessels clamp down, so it minimizes bruising and bleeding. Once the tumescence is in place, then the surgeon goes after you with these big instruments to be able to suck the fat out as fast as possible to get the next person on the table. Okay? An instrument like this with these big holes sucks up a lot of tissue, nerves, blood vessels, connective tissue that you want to keep. You only want to get rid of the fat. You don't want to end up with areas of patchy numbness, extra pain, or the skin not getting the blood it needs because the blood vessels got sucked up by these big holes. Okay, but that is the regular liposuction. That's why I get lots of patients that come to me and they say, well, you know, I had a friend of mine that had liposuction surgery and she's still hurting and she's taking narcotic pain medicines for 3 or 4 weeks. We don't have that. Let me explain the difference. After I do the tumescent step, I go an extra step, which is breaking down the fat, getting the fat emulsified. It's about the consistency of like a smoothie. A smoothie has ice, solid ice, but the ice is broken down into small little pieces now that now you can suck up solid ice with a narrow straw. That's what I do when I'm doing your body sculpting. I break down the fat using the VASER or the laser, so that now it's about the consistency of a smoothie. When it's a consistency of a smoothie, now I can use very small, delicate, fine instruments to remove the fat without removing or damaging the blood vessels, the nerves, the connective tissue that you need for that skin to look pretty afterwards. So instead of using big instruments like this, I'm able to use instruments like this. Tiny little instruments that fit the little small incision, no bigger than about 1/4 of an inch. This hurts a lot. This requires general anesthesia. This doesn't. I can do it with the safety of local anesthesia. This hurts a lot. You're going to require narcotics afterwards. This doesn't hurt very much. You can control your discomfort with 2 Aleve and 2 Tylenol. This involves a lot of recovery because I beat you up a lot with this. With the VASER liposuction that I do, or the laser liposuction that I do, using the finer instruments, I don't beat you up so much to get you the body that you want. Therefore, there's less to recover from. It's not very complicated, but that's a very, very important distinction. A lot of times people ask me also, well, Dr. Rodriguez, why do you get better cosmetic results? Well, I believe I'm a really good surgeon, but there's lots of good surgeons out there. But if you look at your body, things look a little bit different when you're laying down flat, horizontal, with a tube down your throat, knocked out with general anesthesia. You know your body looks different, and gravity plays a different effect on where that fat is and how the fat lays on a table. When I do your procedure, since it's done without general anesthesia, when I finish sculpting the areas that you want me to take care of or to fix, I'll have you stand up. Let gravity work, so I look at you in your natural state, just like we look at you in the mirror when you come in for your consultation, and if I see any little areas that need a little bit of touch-up, a little extra work, I can do it right there on the spot, sometimes while you're standing up. So that's what allows me to get a better cosmetic result. Because when you're knocked out on the table with the tube down your throat, the best thing the surgeon can do is kind of eyeball and estimate what you're going to look like when you're upright in a tight-fitting dress or with a tight-fitting t-shirt. Okay, so that is why I'm able to get a better cosmetic result using this technology than we could with the old-fashioned lipo. So in summary, we're preserving the things that are important underneath the skin. This procedure is often referred to as liposuction because we get rid of the yellow stuff. The yellow stuff is a fat you don't want. But if you look here, the procedure removes fatty tissue while leaving blood vessels and nerves minimally disturbed. You need those blood vessels to take blood and oxygen to healing skin, so the skin looks as nice as possible over the area where the fat was removed. You also don't want to end up with excessive pain by beating up the nerves with big instruments like this so that you require narcotic pain medicine afterwards. With this procedure, you hurt less because I beat you up less. You recover faster because I don't traumatize the body as much using fine, delicate instruments like this instead of big instruments like this. Also, better cosmetic result. The better cosmetic result because I'll actually have you stand up the same way you look at yourself in the mirror, and then we can make sure that the areas that you want it sculpted are as good as it can possibly be. So, less pain, less downtime, less trauma, faster recovery, better cosmetic result, less risk with no general anesthesia. These are the things that we can offer you to the special VASER lipo, laser lipo that we do here at Rodriguez Rejuvenation. Come on in for your consultation now. We run promotions periodically, and I think we have one going on now that you can take advantage of. You can save up to $500 if you choose to allow me to help you get the body of your dreams.